a good beginning for them to understand the nuances of application security. And that is exactly what we teach in terms of our theory part, our virtual labs, and what you see on the screen is our simulator lab. So this is a smart city simulator in which a lot of applications run. You see there's an application that's running for power segment, for the metro, for entertainment, hospitality, healthcare. So all these things are connected devices, which means what? There are applications running on all these connected devices to the desired functionalities. Now, if somebody can hack into the system, then what will happen? The whole system will collapse. So you see there is something called a water treatment plant here, and if somebody hacks into the water treatment plant and mixes poison, then no, it will affect our people, right? Now, how does a hacker do it? He finds vulnerabilities within the codes of an application created to act on the particular smart city or any instance. So this particular topic will help the students to understand what are these vulnerabilities, how do we identify these vulnerabilities, and how do we mitigate these vulnerabilities. So it's very important for you all to see that when you say that vulnerability assessment in application security, we are talking about exactly what you're seeing on the screen. All these events, all these places where the data goes on the fly on the internet, all goes with their own application, all goes with their own codes. How secure they must be for us to have a very peaceful society. So as we say that, yes, there is a lot of jobs available, and if you see, the number one requirement today is the application security analyst, towards which this particular course is given free for your students. So there will be a demand for application security analyst, and it will keep on growing. Yeah. So which means there will be more and more jobs that will come by. So this is one joint certification and by Future Skills and Skillsra. So the vulnerability assessment this particular course will prepare the student to employ the theory as well as the labs that they are going to be practicing, to understand what is application security vulnerability, how do you test it, what tools do you use, what techniques do you employ, and all this kind of stuff. So the prerequisite, as Priya mentioned, is just that the student must have some knowledge about information technology. You must have a little bit of knowledge in terms of coding, whether it is Python or JavaScript, or a little bit of understanding, because you have to know something, right? Without that, you cannot go and start working on a course. So that's all the requirement is. It is not that you should be a person who should have got a higher grade in BTech or BSc Computer Science or whatever. Even a student who is a BCom student, a student who is a BSc Physics, BSc Chemistry, BSc Mathematics, BSc Statistics, be whatever it is. If they can have an aptitude and understand, and if they do have a smartphone, or if they know how to handle, even if they play some smart games in a computer or in a laptop or in their mobile device, which means that they are able to do the man-machine interface, that they are able to understand the device is able to understand their command. That is all it is required to be a cybersecurity professional, to make a beginning. So as Shika said earlier, this course is for 51.15 hours. 50 hours, you can keep it like that. So it will have a lot of quizzes and knowledge check for around 2.5 hours. And you'll be given a lot of attempts. It is not just 3. And the criteria for getting an e-certificate for this course, that the students must complete 80% of the complete course duration. So at least 40 hours of going through the course by the student is a must. Even if you cannot finish the entire 51 hours, 40 hours minimum they should have traversed into the course. Or in the quiz and all those things, they must get a minimum 70% in the knowledge check. So today, as we talk today, I have at least 40 jobs with me right in my hand today. It is for a SaaS company, and that company is based out of a lot of locations in the world. Their Indian office uses they want to use a lot of freshers who just graduated or who are about to graduate. They want to use them. They want to bring them to Skillsda. People who have done this course are preferable to be taken in, and they'll be given specific training, and they will start with a salary package of at least 4 lakhs per annum as a beginner in the 6 months probation, and then it will go on as they go forward. And the job roles will be application security administrator, vulnerability assessor, application security engineer, vulnerability assessment analyst, and vulnerability assessment project manager. At the end of the course, once your students complete the course, they will get a participation certificate like this with their name and their institution, etc. And once the student completes the course, though not mandatory, but it is advisable that they do a assessment that is being rolled out by NASSCOM Future Skills. This assessment, if they do, the assessment will be very close to the knowledge check that they've already done. Once they get this assessment certificate, which means that it's a huge call in their CV, and a lot of companies will look at this certificate and will give them preferential, time during the placement campus interviews, and it will augur well for the students. So as part of the program, we are going to provide internship for the participants. There will be 2 types of internships. One, the first internship will be a very prestigious internship. This internship will be given along with Information Sharing and Analysis Center, a part of our ecosystem that has a private-public partnership with National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, which comes directly under the Prime Minister's office. And so it is very important to know that students. Can you see my PPT or not?
Yes, sir.
We can.
Okay. So this comes directly under the Prime Minister's office. So the top 10 performers will definitely get a chance to work under the Prime Minister's office, and it's going to do a lot of good for them in their career in cybersecurity. Apart from that, in order to encourage more students, in order to encourage more colleges, today internship being a mandatory thing for the colleges, a lot of training placement officers run helter-skelter to get good internships. We from Skillsda, we will offer 10 internships for every participating college. So if you are a college in any part, in any district of Karnataka, if you participate and you motivate your students to participate in this program, then 10 internships will be provided to your college. Now the 10 internships, the first choice will be students who have registered for this course and who have completed 80% of the course and who has got a participation certificate. The second criteria will be the students must join for the grand challenge, which is being rolled out by SciSec, and the grand challenge will be like a hackathon in which there will be 3 different phases. The phase 1 will be a basic hackathon. The phase 2 will be a little more complex, and the phase 3 will be a little dynamic. Only the best in Karnataka will reach that stage, and we wish that your college, your university comes into that format. And once you are in the grand challenge, once your students register into the grand challenge, then automatically they will be given, whether they win, whether they lose, it does not matter. If they complete the course within the month of March, and if they participate in the grand challenge, which is maybe in the first week of April, then that student and other students who we will later review and see who are capable will be given top-notch internship under Skillsda at various enterprises and at various corporates. So I have given a a link here which will be sent to you. You can go and see the link and understand exactly how that the conditions for the internships are. And selected for all the selected students, a coupon will be sent where you will be able to join the internship free. I think that's all from my side, and I am open for any clarifications, any questions. Thank you, Shika.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. Like you rightly mentioned, it's a golden opportunity for students to not just gain more knowledge about this very important topic of application security, but to also get a chance for to avail an internship with prestigious institutions like NCIIPC. So yeah, now we open the floor to any questions that the attendees might have.
If I'm just allowed to add one point to the certificate that we were talking. So, Ramesh, if you can just go to that NASCOM certificate. I just wanted to pass one information to the student, to all the participants here. So we talk about this certificate, which reflects the national occupational standards and the NSQF level to which this program is aligned. So that is how this becomes a very, very important element in the profile of the student while, they actually acquire this certificate. And more organizations would actually prefer something like this because this meets the industry standards. So that's why it is a very, very important one for our students. Thank you.
Thanks, Sridevi, for adding that. Now I'll open the floor to anybody having any queries regarding the entire course, the grand challenge, or the internships being offered.
Please unmute anybody, so that Sanjay Sunar.
Yes, attendees can unmute themselves.
The question. Participant can ask the question. I have unmute all. If you have any question, please unmute and please ask.
Participants can unmute themselves and ask the questions.
Hello, madam.
Yes, please, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, I am Dr. Sridevi Sarlaya. I'm heading the Department of Computer Science Engineering at St. Joseph Engineering College, Mangalore. I just had one query. This course is being rolled out in the month of March, right? Hello?
Yes. ma'am.
Yeah. Madam, our VTU exams, semester end exams are starting, will be going on in this month, March. That is why we have very less number of students enrolling for this course. That is one concern.
Right, ma'am. Most of the course is basically, as mentioned, self-paced, which means that the student can complete most of the course as per their convenience. There will be weekly expert sessions, but these sessions are not mandatory.
Yeah, so just to add to this, ma'am, this course that we are giving as part of March for Secure Code, this is available on our Prime platform, the NASCOM Future Skills platform, which is run along with MEETI. So your students can register for the course in the month of March. If they are unable to finish in the month of March, the course will still be available for the students for 6 months from the time they start accessing it. So we would definitely like to encourage students to take this up. If it's possible for them to complete within March, it's wonderful. Otherwise, they can still register for the course and it will be available for them for 6 months.
Okay, that would be nice if they could take it up later also. But without completing, I think they cannot take up, participate in the hackathon, right? They won't have enough skills for that.
Yes, they would have to complete the course because a lot of learnings will happen as they do the course.
Yeah. Okay, okay, madam. Thank you for the information. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Ambika from Vidyavadaka College of Engineering, Mysore. So in the brochure, it is mentioned that the students will have a hands-on session. So what kind of hands-on session will be there, ma'am? Will it be like CTFs or some other exercises?
Great question. Since we have Ramesh from our partner, I'd let him answer. Ramesh?
Yeah. Uh, the hands-on the hands-on labs we have created for every module will typically be like a virtual lab. So there will be an instant poster available. There will be a lab manual that will exactly tell the students how to go about that particular lab. The manual will tell them what is the vulnerability that they need to find out. The lab manual will instruct or suggest to them what tools they should use. They will also tell what links in the open source that they can go and see in order to understand the vulnerability more. So all these supports are given in the lab for the student to go and see. And then the lab manual also tells them how to complete the lab and how to do the reporting, how the reporting should be, what the screenshots will be, and all those things will be very, very in detail explained, in the manual. However, we are going to also provide a video from our mentor to the students, to all the registered students, on how exactly they should go through this particular module. So once they register, not only for the competition, even after the competition is over, as Priya said that this will be open for 6 months for them, the mentor will still guide them in terms of how to go about each lab and how to do it. So I don't think there's going to be any difficulty for the students.
So essentially, ma'am, they will know exactly what type of machines are required, and if there are any software that needs to be installed, all of that will be given in the manual, and the students can. And I'm sure they will be given a link to download the software if need be, so that they can set up the environment.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Hello, myself Raghunandan from Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
please go ahead.
As you said that Skills India is going to provide internship to the students for the 10 students from each college. Will that internship is online or offline? First concern. Second question is it on the cyber security only?
So the internship will be a virtual internship because there is no need for anybody to go to any office or any place, because cybersecurity itself means that you are going to only be on the cyberspace. So number one point is that there no needs to be any physical travel or physical presence in uh, any of those entities with which the lab will be done. So students can do it at their own pace, and they can do at their home, at their college, or at wherever they are. And that is the first one. Yeah. What is your second question?
Will it be on cybersecurity? Yes, sir. All of the topic will only be cybersecurity questions.
Yeah, it will be completely in cybersecurity only.
And also, how many weeks internship you are going to provide for our students?
So it will be a total of 3 to 4 months internship.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Hello. Sir, I have a doubt regarding the. I am Sharath. I have a doubt regarding the best for the student to finish the course earliest. Like on what basis the student selected? I mean, will the earliest be selected basis on the students who completed the course on March 1st, or from the day they enrolled to the course? Hello.
You are asking for the internship, right?
No, sir.
Sorry, Sorry, I think I was speaking on mute. I think it's a great question. So this program, you will be able to register to this program only from 1st of March. So if somebody registers on 1st of March and finishes the course by 1st of March, then he or she would be the person who finishes the course first. How will this be determined? The platform itself tracks each and every learner's progress. So we will know when a learner is finishing. So that data will enable us to say who has finished the course at what time. Hope that answers the question.
So, ma'am, I have my VTU exams going in March. So, if I start at March 5th, will I be considered for the earliest price?
If you start the course on March 5th and you complete the course ahead of everybody else, then definitely it will be considered. So it doesn't mean that just because you're starting the course March 5th, you will not lose out if there are people who have already completed the course before you. So you are not going to lose out because you're going to start late. But if you're going to be focused and doing this earnestly, as soon as you register on March 5th, then you do have the potential of being one of the early finishers.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. I think there are quite a few questions posted on the chat.
Hello, ma'am.
I'm just going to read. Ambika has asked a question. What kinds of hands-on session will be there? Will there be CTFs or some other exercises? I think partially this was answered. Hands-on, the environment will be very clearly mentioned in the courseware. So people can either use your laptop, desktops to do it. And the Capture the Flag will be the ones created for the Grand Challenge, which our partner Skillstar was mentioning. Once the student register, from where will they get the discount coupon code? This discount coupon code is for people who will be shortlisted to do the internship. So the shortlisted students will get the coupon code from Skillstar, from our partner. So whoever gets shortlisted, they will get the discount coupon code from the partner. Sir, can you explain about point 2 about internship again? So Ramesh, quite a few questions on the Skillstar internship. It'll be good if you could explain that again, please.
Okay, so we have two types of internships. So first internship, you all understand, it will be given to the first top 10 students who complete the course, the people who complete the course and then participate in the Grand Challenge and go through the 3 phases of Grand Challenge. And the top 10 winners, the top 10 people will be given the internship with NCIIPC. Now, when we talk about Skillstar's internships, 10 internship for every participating college. Again, the criteria will be the student of that particular institution must have completed the course in March, and the student must have registered to participate in the Grand Challenge. Suppose the student only completes the course and he does not register to participate in the Grand Challenge, then he won't be eligible. So 2 conditions. First point is that they should have enrolled and completed the course in March, and then they should have registered for the Grand Challenge. If these 2 criteria are met, then that student will be identified from our backend, and the particular college also will be identified thereof, and then that student will be given the internship for 3 to 4 months in one of our partners, companies or internship programs that we have. This complete internship is free of cost. There is no charge, and it will be 2 modes of internship. One, you can do the internship yourself, and one where you can call for assistance to support you in completing the internship. So the colleges must send the students to complete the course and to compete in the Grand Challenge, and then that college will be identified. And even if there are only 5 participants in the college who participated in the Grand Challenge, we will still keep another 5 for them, in order for other students who may have missed it, who could also talk to us later and get into that internship.
If there are any questions, again, please do mention on internship. Just wanted to clarify the process here. So first, each of the colleges will send the list of participants from their college to SciSec. SciSec will share that with NASSCOM Future Skills, and a profile will be created for you all on the Future Skills platform. You will be getting a link to actually log in into the Future Skills platform on 1st of March. The first thing is you go ahead, complete the course, Application Security Vulnerability Assessment. So you have a month long to do it. Once you finish that, all the people who have successfully completed the course can apply for the Grand Challenge. Grand Challenge is going to be done in 3 rounds, which Ramesh mentioned over his talk. So round 1 will be for 4 hours, round 2 will be for 6 hours, and round 3 will be for 24 hours. And the person who comes top 3 in the round 3 are the winners. And of course, since they will anyway be part of the top 10, they will get to do the internship at NCIIPC, which is part of the PMO office. The rest who probably do not make it to all the 3 rounds, but still have completed the course successfully and registered to Grand Challenge, have an opportunity to do the internship at Skillstar. So I hope the process is clear now. Somebody has asked the question, where we get the classes, either inline or in our college only. So this Prime platform is a portal. So you could access it using any device, desktop, laptop, or a mobile device. You could access the course. But to do the labs, you would definitely need a proper environment where you could download your software and then carry out the exercises. So there is no need for you to be physically present in a college or something if you either have a laptop or a desktop available for you at home. But to go through the theory portion, you could always see on your mobile. The next question I see is, once the student register, from where will they get the discount coupon? This discount coupon is a thing that will happen at the later stage. It's at the end of March when you finish your course, then you are eligible to get the discount coupon for the internship. Any certificate will be issued to spokesperson to each college. I would let Karthik from SciSec answer that, please.
So far, there are no certificates for each college, but what we are looking at is creating a relationship with college SPOC, so that whenever we have such courses and such opportunities for students, we'll surely keep them in loop and informed.
Shikha, there was a question on the configuration required for laptop and desktop. Could Ramesh answer the question?
So just as Priya said, even a smartphone is good enough for you to do the course. Any normal laptop, any normal configuration is fair enough. All you need to have is a good internet connectivity, so that the videos and all those things, you're able to, go through it very clearly.
Somebody has also asked, do we need credit card details for enrolling the course? No, not at all.
This is a free course. This is a free course. You don't need to pay anything. You can just go. It will already say that the price is 0. You can go and enroll and do it for free of cost. The whole thing is free of cost.
Right.
Yeah, there's a question in chat, Ramesh. This is for you. Is the course trainer-led or like an animated course?
Yeah, I was coming to that. So, as you know, the e-learning course will have a lot of slides. It'll have a lot of infographics. It'll have diagrams explaining to you every context that needs some kind of extra understanding. And then there'll be a lot of videos that will take you through to understand every module and every topic that is there. So some of them will be, there'll be a narrator, but as you rightly said, most of the things will be in video.
Do the students need to apply for Grant Challenge after completing the course? Not required. All the students who have completed the course, Skillsda will have the database. So they will create registrations for all the people who have successfully completed the course. They will send you the link and you need to register to Grant Challenge. So the link will be sent for all the successful students by Skillsda.
There's also a question on, is it applicable to any branch of engineering? Yes, it is open to all, irrespective of specialization, even to bachelor's in computer sciences. So, irrespective of your specialization, if you're interested in coding, then go ahead and apply for the course.
Right. Does the Grant Challenge happen on the same platform? No, Grant Challenge is actually happening on a different platform specifically set up for capture the flag type of events.
So there is a question how the students can interact with the expert in case they have doubts during the course. So there will be 4 master classes that will happen on this particular topic, and we can provide details of mentors to whom student may approach if they have any issues to understand or go forward. Otherwise, the program itself is so simple. It is well crafted, and it will be very easy to go through that. If students can follow the instructions given, I think they may not need any mentor to complete the course.
Right. So as just adding to Shika, any branch of engineering, any BSc computer science students, BCA, MCA students, or anybody even from any branch who are having a little bit interest in programming can actually apply for this course. Anybody who's a little bit inquisitive to say, okay, can I find out what loopholes are there? And we keep all the time keep hearing, that, and if you are interested to become a bug bounty, then I think this is a good start.
Yeah, very rightly said.
Oh, somebody has asked a good question, a very pertinent question. Okay, so what if the students have already having a Future Skills account? See, actually, if you already have a Future Skills account, it'll just be like a regular Future Skills user. But only if you come as part of the SciSec registrations will you be eligible for all the wonderful things which Shika said about the rewards, awards, the internships which Skillsda is offering. So if you have already used that credentials, we'll not use that credentials. We will use the credentials that we get from the SciSec team. That will be the one that will be that credential will be the one which can actually avail of all the goodies that are being offered as part of this program.
Right, yeah. And another thing is that there is no limit on the number of registrations that each college can send. So the more number of students who apply from each college, the more you increase the chances of your college winning all the goodies, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So that's a very, very, very good question. Thanks for, I think it was Gaurav who asked it. Excellent question. If I enroll today, can I start the course? Whenever you can enroll, you can start the course, but this particular event is starting from March 1st. So we'd like you to wait until then to make avail of the benefits. How many days does this program go on? This is for a 1 month long, this event is 1 month long, but the course can be accessed for about 6 months. When should I enroll into the course? You will get the details once your college shares the information. You will get all the information as to when you should, activate your credentials on the Future Skills Prime platform and how you can access the course. Wouldn't the mail ID clash if they have existing account? Definitely, it will clash. So, if we would recommend you to use another ID for the SciSec. Do we get internship based on our core branch related subjects? The internship, as I think somebody earlier asked the question, it is only going to be cybersecurity related. The internship will be only cybersecurity related internship. And it may so happen that there could be use cases which uses IoT type of devices or an applications or a network kind of a thing, but it will be only on cybersecurity. So far, these were the questions. I'm happy to take more.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priya. I think we'll take a few more questions. Looking at the time, I think we've already surpassed the deadline.
Yeah, and just to say, if anybody has any further questions which could not get addressed as part of this session, please do drop a note, and we will come back for any further clarifications.
Yeah, definitely, Priya. I'll share the email ID in which anybody can reach out to us for any more queries that they might have, and we'll surely address them.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Should we close the call, Shika?
Yes.